Hi YouTube. I hope today finds you doing good. I'm doing all right. I'm a little cold. It's I don't know if it's even 10 degrees out there today. And then with the wind chill, it's way worse. But tomorrow's supposed to be doing a little better, warming up. But I've had a pretty good day so far. I haven't really worked hard or anything, but um, my daughter-in-law um is well paid for a package to get a coat back that her ex-husband had left here, and so I was able to put some music boxes in there for my granddaughters, so I was happy doing that. One plays the tune Born Free, the other one, Somewhere My Love, and another one was Moonlight Sonata. So, I think they'll like them. And they're not very loud, so it's not like I'm sending them electronic horns or anything crazy that is going to drive their mother nuts, you know. So, being thoughtful because she's very thoughtful also. So, yeah, I was going to send the package today anyway, but she offered to pay for it. So it was like, well, that was really thoughtful because our bills are like overwhelming right now, almost horrible. So, well, a lot of you know what that's like. So, hey, yay, go Canada. Way to set a precedence for the rest of the world. Um, People coming together like that. I really have cried a couple times. I saw this one trucker was showing note that he got with some cookies, and the little girl said, like, you're my hero. I'm 11 years old and I don't understand a lot of what's going on, but from what her parents had told her and what she could see for her own self, and baked chocolate chip cookies and stuck a note with a picture of a truck, and it was really cool. She put a heart in the middle of, how the cab will be connected to the trailer. Well, and there's a bunch of lines, like hydraulic lines and air. I think it's hydraulic pneumatic, actually, if I'm not mistaken, air and fluid mixed. But anyway, and there was a heart in between the cab and the reefer or whatever, the trailer, connecting them, and it looked really cool. She did a really good job. It was like, wow. Oh, that made me cry because the guy who was reading the note, the truck driver who got the cookies, he was darn near crying reading it. So, yeah, a lot of really, really neat things going on. I might have told you about that woman must have been about 86 years old, and she had baked a bunch of muffins and muffin bread and got it ready for the truck drivers. And another truck driver had went to bed in his cab about midnight. When he got up the next morning, there was boxes of food, packets of food for all of them, with notes of love and admiration and thanks, for people to eat while they're there. And there's been people going around with like pull behind wagons that can carry like about 1,000 pounds or so, like the little red wagons, or can radio flyer wagons. Well, there's big ones that you can get that are like utility trailers, and there was people with diesel fuel going around and putting it in the trucks to keep the trucks running through the cold weather, so they didn't have to shut them down and hurt their motors. So, I mean, people just coming together in so many ways. And there's people that came with like portable bathrooms and showers and things for the people, and they've got enough provisions to stay there for months, if not longer, at least a few months, but maybe even a year or more. God knows. People are banding together. And there's more people in the United States, as far as the population. And I'm thinking probably what's going to swarm in Washington, D.C. is going to be a larger amount of people, probably a bunch of Canadians too, because people all over the world are caring about other people. It isn't just one country cares about or their own selves, or it's like when I see a post that says God bless America, yeah, but I'd rather see one, and I love the ones that say God bless the world. It's like I shared one yesterday that said, everywhere you walk is holy land. And that's a fact, you know. And quite frankly, none of us were there. And you can say whatever you will. Come to my house and hit me in my head with a hammer or whatever you want to do. But you don't know, and I don't know for sure, that Christ was born in Jerusalem. And you cannot prove that to me. And I can't prove that to you either. And there are lost tribes of Israelites. Some of them are what they call crypto Jews, which is the dark cabal that are in hiding in every country in the world. The same with the bloodline of Jesus. We're all over the place. And you know who you are. If you have God in your heart, most likely that's your bloodline, your ancestor. And yeah, we're all connected like that. Whatever wolf we're feeding, so to speak, you know. So anyway, yes, it has been a pretty good day, and except for, and I'll light a cigarette. This one's for Biden. Anyway, think you get the point. Up in Smoke. Not that that was a good movie. It was pretty stupid anyway, but just the same. Or I was going to say something else, so you can read between the lines there if you want. But yeah, with us going in Syria and they said they killed the leader of ISIS. Well, didn't they already do that? And they said that none of our civilians were harmed. And then I heard that no civilians were harmed. Well, is that right? Hmm. Is there really a war there? Or are they just saying that there is? We're not over there either, and we don't know for sure. But I do know that I've talked to the Syrian people a lot through a, a group called Global Sisterhood. And for about the last 12 years, they've been going to places like Palestine and Turkey and other places from their homeland, running because troops of different countries were after them to eliminate their bloodline, because they are the true speakers of what would have been spoken in the time of Christ. So, um, I know it, they know it, and a lot of other people know it, and it is true. It's what I'm telling you. It wasn't Hebrew. So they can lie all they want, and they can mix up the books all they want too. It doesn't really matter, you know. Like I've always said, and it says it in the scriptures, the word of God is written on our hearts, you know, which my youngest son was available to tell me that we will know them by their fruits. Oh, yes, we will. That's when we had kind of a debate that he was saying, uh, his friend came back and said, "You'll reap what you sow." Not directed at him, but people will. And that he was saying that people just put these posts out about what karma's going to do to other people, like what comes around goes around, you get what you give, or that type of theory. And from what I've noticed in life, it is a real thing. So, anyway, but yeah, I'm not too happy about us being in another country, um, bombing buildings at all. You know, I'm really, really steadfast on the fact that if somebody comes in my yard and messes with me, and we have local authorities or our rights in our land that we have granted to us by God and no man in all reality, we have no business forming armies and fighting wars in this world and putting people's money towards something like that that we don't approve of, you know. So that's another thing about the truckers and all that. They're trying to paint them as racist or anti Semitic or um, um, transphobia or whatever. I'm not scared of a transvestite person. No, I don't care for it. I don't wish them any hatred. I definitely have color in my skin and in my family, so there's no hatred there. And even if a person doesn't, that they're trying to make that like that's a thing. That isn't even a thing in this world anymore. Maybe in very small groups, or maybe like the police against different groups, or um, those groups maybe perhaps against very white people, that the majority of them do control other people and use them. And then the other thing, as far as anti Semitic, I have people of Hebrew blood, Jewish blood, real ones, not the dark cabal, but actual Jewish people in my family. And that's not even a thing with me either. But when they say anti Semitic, they're talking about people's dislike for the people of Israel in particular. Well, I have a dislike about people that take over other people's country and hurt them and kill them and use American people's money to do that. Yeah, I got a problem with that. That's not hatred, but I sure don't like them, and I wouldn't invite them over. So, and I still say and I still think it isn't really that the Holocaust was baloney or anything, because I do believe there was a lot of good people murdered, but the ones that were actually being singled out, and not by Hitler but the rest of the world, the German Jews and those types, or even the English Jews, and the ones like that raised me, even Swedish, Finnish, or Spanish, French type of bloodlines, those, and some others, Nordic bloodlines and whatever, um, are crypto Jews. You know, I don't know where I was quite going with that, but anyway, yeah, had a lot on my mind today. But yeah, so anyway, with the truckers and stuff, it has nothing to do with them being terrorists. They're being peaceful. The terrorists are the ones that are trying to force people to do something to their bodies that they are not willing to do, and to keep it from going into another generation and keeping the children safe. There's nothing terroristic about keeping yourself safe. That's totally ridiculous that anybody, like whether it be Canada's prime minister or our president or whoever wants to say anything about that, um that's ridiculous. People standing up for people, that's not terrorism, that's love. And they're not out there with weapons and fighting or yelling. They're up on, they got great big speakers and they're playing music and like folk music, with guitars, not heavy metal, nothing crazy, just people getting together, standing their ground and making sure that their government knows that they are not going to push the people of the world around. And that is what's going on. And they're not going to get away with it. It's only going to, if, let's put it this way, even in Washington, D.C., the National Guard wouldn't even have a right to go in there and surround the White House. Why? Because the White House is not a part of the United States of America. It's in a district all by itself. Our Army and our National Guard have no business defending any of them because they aren't a part of us. They've made that apparent anyway, you know. So I say, let's use our amendments, our rights, and stand on our statutes. And as far as the Constitution and the statutes and the sub-statutes, those type of statutes, stand firm on our rights and our laws and show them that not all of us are stupid. Some of us actually know the laws and have studied them. And we're going to stand firm on our beliefs. And I believe a lot more people, yeah, a lot of more of us, and you guys, and we's. Anyway, that was sort of a joke because the Weast name went from wise, and before that it was seamen, and they had come over on ships and changed their name and went through the mother's bloodline like they usually do, or always do, or they divorce and remarry and change the name to the wife's family name to hide their cryptoness, as in, yeah, they're dead. Their hearts are dead, their souls are dead. You know, they are soulless. I mean, people cannot treat other people with cold hearts. And the people that it's happening to, like if you know somebody like that, it's not just a mental illness and it's not just a demon possession. These people are not all there in the human capacity, you know. So, anyway, you know what I mean. If they're just not all there, they're not. And there's nothing you can really do about it. I was really astounded for the most part, though, how many people are susceptible to being swayed against their better judgment because they're uneducated, as far as what really is going on in the world. If they knew, I asked myself, or they know, if they see posts or their loved ones trying to tell them things, can't they read? Don't they know? Don't they care? It's like, what? I don't know. I don't know. But the amount of people that are influenced or have been, I think more people are becoming more aware, especially the younger generation, and they can't be blamed, because they don't know any better in different ways. And I do feel it is up to older people to point things out if they know something and the younger ones don't. It's like, hey, listen, this is going to keep you safe if you do things something like this, and if we can point that out for them and to them in the best manner possible, and not everybody learns in the same way either. Some people learn if you talk to them, some people can read something and get it just there, and other people, they might be reading a cartoon or a meme or, like that, or watching The Simpsons or whatever it takes to get the point across to them. But then if it is a cartoon, could very well be that they're not taking it as serious as maybe they should, So that's a concern too. It's like I was writing on a post talking to a friend named John. Hi, John. On a post that or a video I made about Naughty Beaver. I know he's affiliated. Um, I'll just leave it there. There. But when you say or do things that can harm other people, I gotta say something and point it out. Especially, they're using their crafts and their arts that have been passed on through generation to generation, what they do best, and what their interests in life are. So if they're like talking about Nostradamus or even like George Orwell being a Mason, it's hard to quote what he wrote as fiction and comparatively what's going on in the world today say that, well, he predicted these. He was a Mason, just like Nostradamus. What's to predict? It's their playbook, you know. There's no, or Madame Blabowski, you know who I mean. Um, I'll get her name right, but that was really good. Chablowski. No, not that either. I really can't get it yet because I have too many jokes trying to come in on it. Blabowski. Yes, that is her name. But yeah, she was full of baloney too. Madame Baloney. Baloney ski. You know? So, yeah, when they're connected to what's going on in the world and they plan hundreds of years ahead of time, people think, well, we're just living paycheck to paycheck or whatever in life. And that's kind of our whole world and how things evolve, unless you're like paying off a house like for 20 or 30 years or get a loan on it or whatever you're doing, and then your life's a little more structured ahead of time. Or if you have children and grandchildren, you're kind of looking a little more into the future. But these people literally looked into the future for their families and their benefit hundreds of years, if not longer. So, and that is true, you know. And their agendas have always been the same, you know. It's like people digging up civilizations that used to be, or the fact that uh, in Utah, the Mormon temple is built on top of an old satanic temple. These civilizations that are literally built like the catacombs in France or in Italy, and um, the tunnels in the cities and the different things. It's really nothing new. Um, Civilizations have risen and fallen for a very long time, and they've been doing this to human beings for a very long time. You know, it's really hard to prove it because they tried to destroy everything that was, like they're doing over in Syria right now. And I couldn't be more serious about that. Um, it's Not upsetting to the point where I'm going to lose it or swear or anything like that, because but it would be different if I seen somebody that thinks that they are a loving enough human being to call themselves a world leader and to be able to harm other human beings for their own benefit, not benefiting the people of the world, but their own. And I got a problem. They got a problem, you know. And yeah, they will reap what they sow. You'll see it. Some of you younger people are going to see the governments crumble like never before. They say Rome fell in a day. Well, it takes a little longer than that to destroy the dark cabal. But once it is, I mean, it's just like learning what a narcissist is. There's a lot of us that didn't have any clue that people with soulless attitudes and cold hearts really existed right alongside of us. We could call them aliens or reptilians or R negatives or whatever we want to call them, you know. It's and really a blood type doesn't have anything to do with it, you know. But that's something I can't prove either, and that's pretty much like a game. But um it well, there's a little more to that too. And they do have and have had drugs to protect them from anything that they're doing to us. I watched the people that raised me take these certain types of pills and give my brother different types of things that would keep them safe from different things in our environment and things that were going on around us. And I do believe it had a lot to do with their mindset too, and maybe even their aging process. Maybe. So one is approaching 90. The other one died. My dad died in his 80s, early 80s, and he went blind first, but I do believe he was more like a sacrifice. And also, I don't think they realized the extent of the things he showed me when I was a teenager through their lodge and the different things that I had been around. That part they kind of, well, the Eastern Star woman that claims to have raised me. I know I raised myself, but you know, there's some things that in all pretense, she pretended really well, like to be a lady or whatever, that I adapted that I really do. But you know, so in that sense, she was a role model, like if we were out in public or something, and those are the type of things that I claimed as mine. I took all I could do of the good stuff and tried to throw away all the bad. I'm sure there's a lot of us like that out there, you know. So, and that's kind of normal, I think, anyway, with people. So, but yep, just shooting the breeze with you, chatting, having a cup of coffee. But I'm gonna get this uploaded and see what another day brings, you know. So, until next time, have a really good night or day wherever you're at. Thank you for joining me. Um, if you haven't subscribed, maybe you want to, or not. You know, it's up to you. Or pop in, say hi. You know, I'm just saying hi to people in the world because I love you. You know, unless you really are part of the dark cabal, I can't really say I love you. I'm not gonna. Like, well, as a human being, if you have some of that in you, okay, I love that part. So, anyway, everybody, peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.